Hello, Smoke and Sassy.
Hello, welcome back.
So I spent yesterday coaching Special Olympics area games and I am exhausted.
Yeah.
So I'm going to lay on the couch, eat chips, and watch TV.
Okay.
Does that sound fun?
That sounds like a good recovery plan.
Yeah. But you know, I don't really like eating a lot of chips out of the bags because they're so greasy.
Right.
So today what I'm going to do is show you how to make some air fryer chips that are delicious. So we're going to make two kinds of chips. We're going to make barbecue sweet potato chips and Parmesan russet chips. But the nice thing about potatoes is they're a blank canvas. You can make any flavor you want and they are absolutely delicious.
Sounds great.
So I'm going to put in a quick plug for Special Olympics. If you live in Utah, during the month of March, Harmon's does a special thing where you can go and buy root beer floats on Saturday to help fund Special Olympics. So, hey, really recommend it. Regardless of where you live, what do we want them to do right now?
Subscribe and hit the notifications.
Yeah.
Leave a comment if you want.
Yeah, that would be super.
That'd be great.
All right, well, let's get started on these chips so I can get in front of my TV set.
Sounds good.
Okay, let's do it. All right, the nice thing about sweet potato chips is that just like any potato chips, it's kind of a blank canvas. But today we're gonna do it as a barbecue sweet potato chip.
Okay.
Okay? And you know, I'm gonna tell you, a year ago I wasn't a big sweet potato fan. The more I eat sweet potatoes, the more I love sweet potatoes.
All right.
So I'm gonna let you go ahead and slice up the sweet potato with the mandolin.
Okay.
Now, if you have watched a couple of our videos, which I know many of you have, you know I am not a mandolin lover because I'm afraid of them. So if you don't have a mandolin, you can use a sharp knife and you can slice it thinly, or you can be a real chicken like I am. I just use my food processor when I do this. It's a little bit thicker, so you have to cook it a little bit longer if your chips are thick. So it's really and truly up to you. While AJ's finishing that up, I want to talk a little bit about the olive oil that I'm going to use. So I'm just going to bring this in front. This I made myself. You can buy olive oil, different flavors in the store, or you can make them yourself. This one happens to be an Italian parsley lemon olive oil. I love this blend because I use it on a lot of things. I use it on my chicken and I'm going to use it on my chips, both my russet chips and my sweet potato chips today. You just combine however much Italian parsley you want, and I just cut up a lemon and I put it in here. You pour your olive oil over it and you let it sit, and you can let this sit for weeks. The longer it sits, the more flavor you get, and it is amazing and delicious. Oh, and it's delicious on salads too. So now that AJ has that all nice and sliced up for me, thank you so much. I'm just going to throw them in a bowl. And I'm going to sprinkle my barbecue seasoning over the top of it. I made my own barbecue seasoning. The recipe for that, the actual ingredients are going to be just underneath the video, so you're welcome to look at that. If you don't want to make your own because you don't have all of the seasonings, this is another great opportunity for you to use some of those hook seasonings that AJ talks a lot about. What are some of your favorite hooks?
I use the smoky sweetness just because it doesn't have a lot of heat. If you like a lot of heat, you could, you know, he's got a, well, I would use the Red Guns probably for heat. That's not his, that's a different brand, but like smoky sweetness is good for most people. Yeah,
so I would give that a try, or like I said, make your own, whichever you like the best. And then I'm just going to squirt a little bit, whoops, of olive oil in this. This is, again, this is why the air fryer chips are so nice. It's not overly oily. If you do look up the difference in the calories, you're going to see it's huge. And I did what AJ usually does, is I chose to use the smallest possible bowl so that I could spill out as much as possible. And I'm just, after I go ahead and I get this all nice and tossed, I'm going to then let it just sit for about 5 minutes so that the spices get good and inundated into the sweet potatoes. Once I do that, I'm going to put it in a single layer at a time in my air fryer. I'm going to bake it at 340 degrees for 10 minutes, but I'm going to turn it after 5 minutes. There's a secret for making sweet potato chips that I learned the hard way. I've been practicing and practicing these chips for a while. Do I know what the secret is?
Sure.
The secret is that you have to pull them out before you think they're done. And you have to let them sit for about 5 minutes, and then they're gonna crisp up the rest of the way outside of the air fryer. If you keep them in to the point that you think they're done,
it's too late.
It's too late. You end up with burnt chips.
Always pull out before you're done.
Always pull out before they're done, yes. Now that's not gonna be true with the russet chips, but they absolutely is true with these. So about 5 minutes, and we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna throw them here into the basket. I'm gonna throw in my first layer. Now, the other secret with this is sometimes people say, hey, I have to soak my potatoes before I can make potato chips. Yep, that's true with the russets, and you're gonna see that. It's not true with the sweet potatoes. I tried it both ways. Honestly, I made my boyfriend say, oh yeah, there's a difference, but that's just because he wanted to make me happy. There's not a difference. So you can, oh, that's okay. You can say yes, that makes a difference, but it doesn't. Okay, so just like we did with the sweet potatoes, you're gonna use the mandolin to slice the russet potatoes.
Okay.
Okay. Now again, I don't use the mandolin, so I used my food processor to slice these up. Russet potatoes are a little bit more difficult to make into chips than the sweet potatoes. What I did is I soaked these in water and salt for about 30 minutes. And the reason that I'm going to do that is I want to go ahead and I want to get some of that starch out of the potatoes.
Okay.
But once you do that, you have to pat the potatoes really, really dry, or they're not going to make great chips. Okay?
Don't you use the same thing with hash browns too?
Yeah, actually you really should. Yeah. And with hash browns, if you add a little bit of baking powder, it will make them even crispier.
Oh,
I did do that with this.
Okay.
Okay. Then you're just going to take this and you're going to put these in your air fryer again.
Okay.
But we're going to do it just a titch different. We're going to put them on 200 degrees in the air fryer for about 20 minutes. If you have thicker ones, like I do, you're going to do 25 minutes. With the mandolin, it will be 20 minutes.
Okay.
Once that time is up, what we're going to do is we're going to put the temperature up to 400 degrees for about 10 minutes. 5 minutes in, we're going to open it up. We're going to shake, shake, shake.
Okay.
And then we're going to let it go again. After those 10 minutes, then comes the tricky time. You're going to have to look at it and you're going to have to see if it's good or not good enough. And then you're going to maybe do increments of 1 to 2 minutes until your chips are done. But I'm making Parmesan chips today. So I actually add, once I have to add like maybe another 2 minutes, I'll add Parmesan on top and let the Parmesan kind of cook into it.
Right.
If you just want to do plain old potato chips, right, just add salt. Nice thing is these are your blank canvas. You can do it however you want. So let me go ahead and get them in the air fryer and then let's see what they look like.
Sounds good.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, so here's our chips. Don't they look delicious?
They look really good.
You know, and again, I'm not a nutritionist, but if you were to Google up and see the difference in calories and fat, you're going to be hooked on these homemade chips. So you can also bake these in the oven. I just like the air fryer better. So should we try it?
Let's try it.
Okay. And remember, guys, especially with these sweet potato ones, you want to take them out just a little bit beforehand, but you can hear how crunchy they are. Mm-hmm. What do you think?
Good.
Worthy of a binge?
Definitely.
Hey, folks, eat, savor, and enjoy.
We'll see you next Thursday. Bye.
Bye-bye.